Hi everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and if this is your first time over here, thank you so much for joining. Let me start by saying keeping certain things private doesn't mean being secretive. It's really about shielding yourself from emotional and sometimes even physical harm or pressure. Keeping certain things private in your life saves you from a lot of things, for example like disappointment and sometimes even pressure from yourself or other people. As we get into the list of some of the things we should keep private, you will understand why it's important to move in silence. The number one thing you should keep private when moving in silence is your financial status or your income or your bank balance, whatever you call it. Your account balance is nobody's business but yours, unless you are absolutely required to share how much you earn. But for the most part, it's best to keep that part private. And the reason being is that not everyone is happy for you as you may think they are. Not to say that people are just out there being jealous, but there are people that are going through a lot. And let's say you are doing better than someone in your life and they come to you for help, or maybe they ask you to go out for lunch or just anything, and you tell them you didn't budget for it, or maybe you just don't have the money for whatever activity it is that they want you to participate in or partake in. Obviously the person will be like, you earn X, Y, and Z amount of money, how come you can't afford this? And they might just hold that against you and judge your moves and decisions. You don't want to give people reasons to judge you based on your actions and even know more than they need to know, unless it might really help them in some way. For example, they are trying to get into the same field as you are and they really just want to have an idea of how much they should expect to earn or maybe ask for when they are given the opportunity or the same type of job. And if this is the case, maybe just use your discernment and see to what extent you can tell them how much you earn, or if you can just guide them through it. This is really up to you and what you're comfortable with. The next thing you should keep private is your relationship and intimacy. This doesn't mean you should keep your partner private. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Whenever you have a problem with your partner, whatever is going on in your relationship should be resolved between you and your partner. Sharing bits of your life on certain occasions is fine, but avoid complaining about your partner to your friends and family. Unless, of course, if the relationship is really toxic and harmful, yes, then go ahead and speak about it and talk to somebody about it. I'm talking about the little problems, irritations, and annoyances that we all have in our relationships. When it happens that you go and tell your friends and family, sometimes or most times they will take your side and maybe be on your team and give you advice, right? Then you go back and forgive the person. Now you are mad at your friend for speaking ill of your partner or being concerned or confused as to why you are still with that person after saying everything that you've said about them. To avoid all that, it would be best not to always complain about your partner at every given opportunity. And I will repeat, unless it's really a toxic and abusive relationship. If you are liking this video so far, please give it a thumbs up. The next thing you should keep private is your generosity or your good deeds. When you do something for someone, that's between you and that person. It doesn't need to be public. Not everyone needs to know that you helped somebody or did something for that particular person. You can still do charity work without really being specific about what you gave or what you did. I think this is something that most of us know or have been told, that you shouldn't do it to expect any praise in return. Do it because it's the right thing to do and not because you're expecting something out of it. And again, if you've done something honorable for somebody, you really don't have to brag about it. Maybe telling a few close friends or family might be fine, but it's not necessary. The next thing you should keep private is your family problems and issues. No matter how close you are with your friend or your friends, they don't need to know everything that goes on behind closed doors. Some things really need to be worked on internally. Not every family problem needs to land on social media like we see these days, or out there for everybody to know about. It's really just a lot better that way. The other thing you should keep private is your next move or your big goals. keeping your plans private and giving it time to materialize and not killing it while still in seed form. There's a girl here on YouTube called The Feminine Fancy. She also said something along those lines, which I totally agree. When speaking of your goals or plans prematurely, you are opening a door for people's opinions, which might not always be positive. And that might discourage you even before your goals or plans is even materialized. We all have different dreams and plans for our lives, and sometimes people just don't understand your dreams or goals, and that's okay. Because these are your goals and your dreams and maybe your visions, other people may not see your vision the way you see it. That doesn't necessarily mean they are bad people. Absolutely not. Another thing you should keep private, but this one depends on the relationship you have with the person you want to tell this to, which are your weaknesses. This is one of those things that you should be careful about, just because you don't know what people's intentions are, especially if you don't know them. Revealing your deepest weaknesses to people makes you vulnerable. That's why I said this one really depends on who you tell it to. And some people, not all obviously, might even use that against you in certain situations. That's why it's really important to choose wisely who you tell these things to. I would suggest you tell people things that you know they can help you with, or maybe if you are looking for a different perspective on a subject or topic, not just for the sake of it. Have you ever been in a situation where you are with a friend or just somebody you met, you guys are trying to get to know each other, it's maybe a female or male, and you just feel compelled to tell them something deep about yourself so you feel a bit more closer to them, or you guys feel like you've become closer? I don't know if that makes sense. Have you ever felt that? Have you ever been in that type of situation before? If yes, please mention it in the comments below. With everything I've said in this video, only you would know when to share and when not to share certain things, and with whom to share them with. My job was really to just give you a guideline on why it wouldn't be very wise to share certain things in your life, especially with people you don't know. As I said in the beginning of this video, it's not about being secretive. It's about shielding yourself from emotional and maybe physical pressure or harm. Thank you so much for sticking till the end of the video. I really appreciate you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.